Hello, hello. I'm Kathy Freeman Art, and I'm popping on here. It's Tuesday, and it's time to share another art demonstration with you. I love to work Tuesdays on my Grow Joy journaling. And hello, I see someone else here. Go ahead and put your name in the comments. What I love to see is where are you coming from? I'm going to be popping in here really quick and making sure it is showing up on my page like it's supposed to. And it does say I'm live. And there it is right there. All right, perfect. Okay, looking good, looking good. You never know about those things, right? All right, this one, hello, I'm glad you're here. Today I'm going to work on a project that goes into my journal, and I'm going to shine the camera down here in just a second. And I'm using, let me go ahead and go to double screen. I am actually using, well, a book page. I'm going to be doing a collage. When I'm working with my Grow Joy journaling, I like to collage because I take parts of the statement that I've chosen for the week, and then from that statement, I'll either collage or I'll watercolor or something. And so today what I'm going to do is collage because I want to show you that you don't have to make it complicated, and that this is really a great routine to do, if not every day, maybe every couple of days or something, because the whole goal is it really just brings peace and rest to our mind. And so let me share with you what I'm doing. This is the affirmation that I actually pulled out of the Grow Joy journaling group. It's called Creative Reminders in their library, and I'm going to read it to you. And I love it because I'm using it for myself. My dreams and desires are beginning to take root. They are no longer just hopes. I can feel them growing little by little. They're being strengthened by steady steps and quiet trust. God is gently reassuring me that I'm on the right path. Even when I can't see it all yet, I know something beautiful is unfolding. I am supported. I am becoming. What a great one. And you don't have to do this every day. This is one I would read all week long, So that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in my journal here and read it all week long. So I've got my statement. I went ahead and pulled down some images of flowers and that have little roots on them. These are all templates that I give to the members. This page I'd given to them before. And then I've got this one that I've given also. And I thought, okay, I'm going to combine all of this and create some kind of a page here. So let's just start right off the bat by ripping out the statement and gluing that down. Collage, I like to think of it in steps because, you need to come up with your layer first of your foundation. And basically this black page is going to be it. Most of the time I will create a background and then build upon that. But today I'm not. I'm going to go ahead and let this black be the foundation, and then build off of that with it. Scissors. I'm going to turn this down here. I'm going to actually pull myself off and focus more downward so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. And let's get that light so it's a little bit better. All right, that should be better. There we go. Oopsie. Okay, I need my scissors. And just start cutting out some things. My dreams and desires are beginning to take root. This image right here. Now I usually rip everything, and that is because that ripped edge, it doesn't leave, such a sharp definition of the page. It tends to blend itself in better. But I'm going to go ahead and cut those out. I want that one. And cut several of them here. We'll see what I end up using. This one right here. And for my members that are watching, this should be back in, probably back in April. You can find this. Well, obviously, because I've got the bunnies on it. So let's see. This one is a great one, these mushrooms. You know, I've noticed that I was out with my mom yesterday in a craft store, and it seemed like mushrooms have made their way back again. We saw glass ones. It's just kind of fun to see that mushrooms have made their way back. Okay, we got those three. I've got this page here. I'll just rip some of this off and use it. It sounds like we're going to get rain. I hear that thunder. All right. Now, let's see what else I've got. Scissors. Where did I just place those? There we are. I want these. And this is on cardstock. So it's going to be heavier. And I'll definitely need a different glue, when I'm putting these down. And then look how beautiful these are. Printed this off on. This is a page they could use as their for their journal to have all kinds of images and that to decorate up their page. So I pulled it back out. And I think I'm going to need one more of those. Hope you can still see. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. All right. And then we've got this little, these are templates. If you just joined me, these are templates I've given to my members in the Grow Joy lesson in the library. So they have access to that. Okay. I've got some really nice things here to work with. And I've already stated my statement. Sure where my glue went. I'm working on projects, and a lot of times I don't put everything back. Then it's a little bit harder to find when I need it. Because it's all sort of strung out. Let's put these watercolors up for a second. Just playing with something on those. There we go. And I separate my brushes. I like to keep my watercolor brushes separate from my acrylic brushes. Then I don't. All right. I don't know that I'll put that one down first. I think what I will do is place some of these. And where is my, there we go. That medium. And I do have a brush for that, but it's pretty stiff. So we're going to just use the spatula. and apply this. The first thing when you collage, or for me, I'd love to hear comments from you. I think collaging can be complicated for people sometimes. And I've lost you. Looks like an extra camera was unplugged. So let's see what happened here. Let's add that. Must have knocked something. There we go. Years ago, well, about 4 years ago, I guess, I was working with some of the members in my class, my art sisters, and I had one woman who said to me, she says, I really don't like collage. And I know it's not for everyone, but I think that the challenge with collage is it's not as straightforward. You know, when you're watercoloring, you've got your image there, unless you're doing an abstract or something. You're creating that image. But with a collage, you know, there's so many layers. Sometimes it feels like you're just making a mess. But truthfully, that's the interesting part. Is all of that. Okay, get that done before it all dries out. Now, when you print things off, you have to make sure your printer, I can't remember right now if it's the laser or the other one, but one of them you can print and put down just like this, but the other they'll bleed. And so if that's the case, then you want to seal off your image by spraying it. Some kind of a sealant, a fixative to fix that so that it won't run, it won't spread. See, we need to go over a little bit more. And this one, I just feel like the rhythm of having them going down at an angle. And then my last one. Affirmations, I find are so powerful for me. My brain, I don't know, it can loop on things. Oh my goodness, can it loop? It can be a little OCD on that. And it can loop, and when you start creating something, you stop that. That's what's so wonderful with it. Right, now this, I need to go ahead and glue with the, let's use my craft glue because it's thicker. So it's going to be a little bit. So I'm putting these down. And then what I'll end up doing is I come back with a layer of gesso. And that gesso helps to blend everything together. Oh, I love this blue. As I look at it, it just has such a Scandinavian look to me, as I see it. But that's just a personal interpretation of it. Not necessarily. So I've got some repetition here. I've got some, I'm using some of the elements of design. Repetition, got a rhythm where it's flowing. It can go up, it can go down. And And then on this side, I'm going to end up putting over, let's pull it this way so you can see. And I'm putting all this down first. Well, the nice thing about taking the time to rip something out, you know, on your, as I rip, my brain is thinking through. And I'm thinking I want to use some gesso on this and then put, I don't know, we're just going to play an experiment, right? Got a little flower there. Got these really cute daffodils. Hold on to that. Let's just separate these. You can always draw these out, but I'm showing you what I'm demonstrating to you. It's just a quick, easy way. You know, so that you can feel like you can create more. Because if you're on a time crunch or you're just limited on your time, I think sometimes we limit ourselves. We don't do anything because we don't think we have enough time. So I like to show, hey, let's just do something here in a short amount of time. And you could actually, you know, draw these out, paint these, etc. I've got another one. I've got another one of those. Okay. And it takes a little bit of discipline to put away your logical mind and to just let your creative side take over. And then just follow any thought that comes to you without overanalyzing it or thinking, oh, what's that? You know, just follow what comes to you. And that's what we're doing here. I was going to stick with just the three, and then I just had this thought. Take them all out and layer them on top of each other. There. Layer them on top of each other. Okay, so I've got all those. I'm going to put those aside here for a minute. This needs to dry a little bit. So let me get that out. Just enough to stop that. Put my lid back on before I lose that, right? And let's paint the gesso on. I want a flat. Jar gesso can be a little bit tricky. I was thinking about using this back here on this side. But I'm going to wait on that, and I'm going to add some water to the gesso, get it moving again. It's got a little thick. Ooh, I should have my umbrella, my apron on. Okay. I'm going to go back and forth. And I'm going to just put down some gesso to break this up. And what I'm thinking about here, put this sheet here so I can be a little messy. So I'm thinking about the ground. There. Take this gesso and go right over this glue area. And that will kind of hide that, because on a black background, the glue, you can see it. To make sure that you can see what I'm doing, because I want to move a little quickly. I'm letting that just be rough and ragged. That came up, so we need a little bit of glue on that right there. That didn't adhere very well, so I'm just going to use a stick glue. Glue that down. Let it kind of goopy up here. Pull that back. Don't want to lose that bird in case I decide to use him. Lift that page. Go right up to the edge. See, just like that. This one, oh, I've got a lot on my brush now, don't I? It's great. Going for that contrast, black and white, strong contrast. This is the part that's really has to just be intuitive. There is no recipe to it. It's just Think of it as therapy. Then you won't be too concerned about it. With each brush stroke, you can take a deep breath and exhale. Exhale. I'm breathing, so it didn't come out right. Right. But just relax. With each brush stroke, relax. Okay, I'm going to put that to side here because now this is what I want to do. You can see this right here is my ink. Oh, I hope I can open it. There we go. I usually use just a little bit of it. All right, let's see what happens. So I put a little on. It would be great if I had a glove, but I don't. So I'm going to use this as a stiff brush because it'll stain your fingers. So it'd be nice to have a glove. And I wonder if I don't have some kind of a glove. Oh, I sure don't here. Rats. Going to cover my finger a little bit because this needs just kind of needs to be rubbed in a little bit. At least that's the way I like to do it. Is I like to rub it in, mix it in with the gesso, leave some areas dark, some areas light. Okay, let's try now again. A little more brown ink. Right across there. Grab my little, I'm getting it on my fingers anyway. I'm going to bring it over here because I want it to, flow into the next page so your eye will carry over. That's the purpose of doing that. Okay, let's grab the gesso, use my fingers, and just mix it in a little bit. Brush will blend it. And just created a little bit of a background. Okay, clean out that brush. Okay, now what I'm going to do is layer on these and start adding those to it. So it's not dry. Can't help it. I get my fingers always in it. Glue that down. The brown is still a little wet, so I can bring it right over the top of it, like so. Next one I want to do is this one. And depending on, how much time you want to spend on something, you could go right back over these and paint and put acrylic on top of them. And what am I doing? I'm ripping a little bit of that off so we can see more of the brown. There we go. I think last week. See that one okay? Let me move that over. It's easy to get working and not paying attention to where the camera's at. Thank you for your comments. Go ahead and put where you're from. Say hello. Yeah, I'm working with this fast too. So you'd probably take a little longer and maybe think through some of it a little more. And I wanted the roots to show on these plants. Because of the statement, my dreams and desires are beginning to take root. It's an affirmation. You want to be able to see that, see what's going on there. Okay. My hands. Let's get a little closer with this one. I'm ripping it. And another thing is, if you tissue paper would be phenomenal to print these on tissue paper or paint them. Last year, my art sisters, we did a couple of projects where we painted on the tissue paper and then created. Where is that one? It's right over there. Oh, it was fun. I can show you at the very end. Getting rid of, well, this is this excess. And you could, yes, why don't you just cut that out, Kathy? Why are you ripping all this? Remember, because I don't like the sharp, blunt edges. I like it to kind of blend in, and it will do that so much easier. Hey, maybe we'll just bring that one right over there. What do you think? I think so. Just go with what feels right because you can't go wrong. You can start to feel all those concerns and things that you've been so focused on and worried about starting to kind of disappear, at least for a few minutes until your mind starts going back to them. But these will keep your mind busy on a healthy path. Oh, I'm loving that. I love the colors in it. We'll be layering that right over. And it would be really neat. Like I said, I can just picture this in tissue. And the beauty about the tissue is you can see underneath. So that kind of shows through the under layer. It's beautiful. What you would do is you would take your tissue paper, tape it down, not all the way around, but on the top to a sheet of paper that would go through the printer. And then you would run it through the printer. And that's how you would print that. All right, we are coming right along here. And my statement is going to go up here. See, now it's time to kind of play, and you go back and forth and decide. One would think to put it there, but I'm going to put it here. I'm going to put it right there. And I am going to use my scissors and make a sharp edge there because that's going to go right up to the edge. Perfect. I'm going to glue that down. Put it over here. And I'm just using regular craft glue, school glue for this right here. The paper's light. Doesn't need a lot. I could have used my acrylic medium, which I will probably go over it with that. Need to lift that up to make sure I get it right on the edge and my saying on there. All right, so now you see what we've got. You kind of step back, you look at it, you see what you've got, and you start going to the next step. You've got your layers on. And I am going to put a little bit of this on here. Kind of seals it off. Blends it in. Now, as I look at this, I'm going to go back to my gesso. Cleaning out that brush. Grab some of that gesso on here. And I'm going to cover up just a little bit. I want this stronger here. Stark white. And I'd like it, I think, stark white up here. Create that repetition. Repeat that. And over here, it's time to use the fingers. You can get so much more control with it, with the fingers, if you use that. I can get it on thicker. Okay, now you're kind of in that stage of like, not sure exactly where it's going, but just play with it. Just think of it as a treasure hunt. You're just going to okay, any place else? All right. Stop with that. And I'm going to look for a blue acrylic. Let's go with this one. And I picked this one because it's pretty close to what I've got there. Got just a nice, it's about an inch. I'm going to start giving something that indicates like sky. Bring it over a little bit to the other side. Everything needs to dry is what it needs to do. But I'm trying to hurry this through. So you're obviously, so you're not on here for a long time. But let's put a little bit of darker. Blend that in. I lifted it because I have a lot going on there. And I wanted it not to be too heavy. So I needed to get some off my brush so I could come back and blend it. Okay, let's take a second, dry this. Okay, I really I'm going to go over the flowers just a little bit. Got a yellow. Not the whole thing. I'm not going to, just a little bit. Let's use a little white to make a lighter yellow. some green. Maybe just a teeny bit. But I do have a lavender, so here's a lavender. I want tiny brushes. I've got this one. Here's a tiny brush. Let's start here with this little purple. So we're going to go right over the little flower. That's what makes it so easy. It's kind of like paint by number. Okay, we've got that little purple flower. And I'm going to pick up some of this. It's not the same color, but I'll add a little here and there just to make it pop. See, I'm totally off camera there. There we go. So I'm just filling in a few spots here and there on this one. The texture of the paint makes it stand out. Now, because obviously this isn't something I would be selling, but because it's for my own little journal. It's mostly just something because I wanted to create for my affirmation. Then you can do this, but you would not be selling. Okay. Adding the paint over the top. This brings it out. See if you can see those. Mix in a little bit of white, get a light yellow. Add that. My green, my leaves. And I'm letting you leave some of the other green showing through. Don't cover completely. Sure, I'm still on camera here. There we go. That green just makes those pop in it. Anywhere I got the blue that that covered over, I can go right over the top and redefine those leaves. So it stands out. All right, so it still needs work. All right, and we're almost at the hour point, the hour mark. It still needs a little bit of work. But see, you can put it away, let it dry, and then come back to it. So I need to let it dry because then I'm going to start going into some more detail work with this. I'm going to use my inks, my pen, do some outlining in that on it. And there's my page with my daily affirmation in it right here. And I love it. I love it. All right, so let's see. I do want to do one more thing before we take off here. Where did they go? Oh, right in front of me. It could have bit me. Ooh, you could put that up here. You could actually cut him out. Go ahead and cut around him. I'm not a big fussy cut person, but I do want him to not have a lot of white showing. Okay. Might be off camera right now, but that's just because I don't want the pieces of paper to fall onto my journal page. See, so if you have, let me repeat, if some of my members have shown up here a little bit late, these are templates that are in your library, and you can absolutely download those if you haven't already. And it's in the Grow Joy library. Okay, glue this one on. And what I'll do is I'll come back and I'll post a picture of this so you can see the final. Once I've done some of the detailing and that on it and let it dry, but I can't go over it right now with pen and that until this is completely dried. All right, thank you for showing up. My name's Kathy Freeman, Kathy Freeman Art. What I'm working on today is part of the membership that My Art Sisters has is a section called Grow Joy. And it's a section that I give them affirmations and questions and that to ponder, things to just kind of meditate on and refocused. And so that's what I'm working on today is my book that I've got in here and the affirmation that I chose for today. Let's see if it shows up. Nope, there we go. It is number 842 for you members that can get into the library. My dreams and desires are beginning to take root. They are no longer just hopes. I can feel them growing little by little. They're being strengthened by steady steps and quiet trust. God is gently reassuring me that I'm on the right path, even when I can't see it all yet. I know something beautiful is unfolding. I am supported. I am becoming. And so this is my book to be able to go and I read it. I'll read that. This was last week's, but this is what I'll be reading for the rest of this week and going over. And then, all right, thank you for joining me, KathyFreemanArt.com. And I will see you again next Tuesday.